Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And today we are going to focus on project sponsorship. What does it mean to be a project sponsor as a part of a PS manager's role? And that's what we're going to spend our time with. And again, I have with me Don Conine, my esteemed colleague who has spent an eternity inside the professional services world. I can't say that too much. It's only a slight bit more than what I've got at this point, but we've been doing this stuff for a long, long time. So what we're going to do
Good to
today.
be here, Shane. Good to be here.
Good to have you, man. So let's try and look at sponsorship, Don. What does it mean to be a sponsor? Now, today, as we go through this, we want to give you ideas of how you can take action to be a project sponsor. Because I got to tell you guys, projects, when they're not sponsored, they get out of hand. And look, even our friends at PMI, and I'll say that in inverted quotes, they're going to say that one of the major reasons why projects don't succeed is because of poor sponsor engagement. And one of the things, I don't even know if I have this in the slide, but I'm going to open up with one of my favorite comments. And that is project managers don't own projects. Project sponsors own projects because they're the ones that signed the agreement. You're the one that owns the result of this project for your organization. Your matching customer sponsor is the one who went and got the money to fund the project. So giving it to proxies like project managers and then just leaving it is a surefire way to end up in disaster. And that's what we're trying to avoid.
And Shane, this is what I used to tell my project managers who were project sponsors. You can pretend to care, but you can't pretend to be there. You got to show up, and hopefully through this training segment, you're going to understand what we're trying to tell you. You have to be in your role as project sponsor.
Yeah, and I think we're all guilty of pretending to care at some point, Don. I know, the world is so busy, right? And that's that default fallback. Let's just pretend to care, but it never, ever gets a result. You can't do that as a parent. You can't do that as an active manager trying to run a P&L and make profit. So good advice. So what are we going to do? We're going to take our DARE framework that we showed you in a previous operational cadence session, and we're going to narrow in very specifically on sponsorship. Sponsorship is just one of the accountabilities that a PS manager can have. Now, as you can see, the whole project leadership function is a survive category. So I don't know what else to tell you. It's one of the most important things that you can be doing. And that's why it's in red. And that's why when you look at it from a DARE perspective, most PS managers are both, accountable, reporting and executing project sponsorship. Now, they get a little bit of help from the project managers. And in some instances, high-level executives may even delegate that responsibility. So generally, regardless of what kind of PS manager you are going to be tightly tied to the sponsorship of projects.